people see success as like an easy path, whether it's an athlete or a CEO or a musician or an entertainer. Everybody's success story is littered with moments of adversity, points where they're like, I can't do this anymore, and something pulls them out of that to keep going. Very rarely is it like, yeah, this girl was singing on the corner and someone walked by and was like, that's it. Here's a contract. That's a hit record, like it doesn't happen that way. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that will face that adversity and not be willing to push through, because it takes a special mindset to kind of grind and see the light at the end of the tunnel, but also be okay with the failure if you put everything into it.
At some point, every career takes an unexpected turn. A layoff, a health issue, an interest in pursuing something new. Sometimes you choose it, and sometimes it's chosen for you. Tom Koehler played 6 seasons in Major League Baseball as pitcher for the Miami Marlins and the Toronto Blue Jays. Then in 2018, he signed a $2 million contract with the LA Dodgers in what should have been a fresh start. But he never threw a single pitch. A shoulder injury in spring training led to season-ending surgery, a release from the Dodgers, and over a year working through rehab in the minors before announcing his retirement in 2020. Today, he's a youth softball coach, a Major League Baseball agent, and a competitive jiu-jitsu athlete, building a life after baseball in ways he never expected. He's here with us to share what that journey looked like and what it can teach us all about navigating pivots, whether we see them coming or not. Welcome back to Prevention Pioneers, the show where we rewrite the rules of workplace mental health by putting prevention first. I am your host, Laura Kuntz. Tom, welcome to the show.
All right, thanks for having me.
So take the audience and I back to 2018. You're in spring training, the injury happens. What was that like?
At first, it was extremely disappointing, but to kind of talk about why we got to go back a little bit, 2017 was a really rough year for me baseball-wise. It was the first time in a while I had struggled. I got sent down to the minor leagues after being in the Marlins rotation for the better part of the last 5 years. So something that at that point, when you're up and you're having success at that point, you don't expect to go back down. Follow that with the trade to Toronto. I used to joke that they didn't want me pitching so bad in Miami, they deported me to another country. But I had success in Toronto, which allowed me to have, a new fresh start with the Dodgers. I was also signed to do a different role than I had ever done.
Okay.
So I was a starting pitcher majority of my career. The Dodgers brought me in to be the setup man for Kenley Jansen. So I was going to pitch 7th, 8th inning, 1-inning stints at a high leverage situation out of the bullpen, which I was very excited about because the Dodgers had a history of bringing in starting pitchers who maybe started to taper off a little bit and kind of reviving their careers in these 1-inning stints. So it was a gamble of, this is new, but if it works, it's going to be it could extend my career another five years or so.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, that's not what happened. So second outing of spring training, I'm supposed to throw 2 innings just to stay stretched out. But I come in after Clayton Kershaw had thrown his work, and I just didn't feel right. I'm trying to fight through. And I remember standing on the mound. I'm giving up hits. I was like, oh man, I'm supposed to throw 2 innings. Let me try to just get through 1. If I can get through 1, I'll tell them I'm a little sore, and then the next time I'll go 2. It got to, I threw a curveball, and I just remember thinking like, that's not normal. That's no longer like soreness. That's something's going on. Called them out, told them what was going on, went inside, immediately got sent for an MRI, which the one perk of being a Major League Baseball player is you don't have to wait for medical, to see a doctor or anything.
Fast track.
Hey, you're hurt. Don't even change. You're going.
Yeah.
Backdoor entrance, all that kind of stuff, got the MRI. I saw the local doctor, the guy who kind of is in Arizona handling the Dodgers spring training. And he's like, it looks like bicep tendonitis. You'll be good in like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I've pitched. The one thing when you're a starting pitcher, like when it's your turn to pitch, it doesn't matter how you feel. You got to figure out a way to do it. So I've pitched through bicep tendonitis more times than I probably should. As I was walking out, the head athletic trainer comes chasing me down. And he's like, hey, we got to talk. And I'm like, uh-oh. They call me in, and their head doctor, Dr. Neil Elitrosh, was actually at the combine for the NFL. It was around the same time. Looked at it on his phone. He's like, no, that's not bicep tendonitis. So I had torn the anterior capsule of my shoulder. Basically, every time I was throwing, I was dislocating my arm, which would explain why it hurt as much as it did. Arm in a sling, walking out for 2 weeks, no throw, trying to fuse it.
Oh my goodness.
So that was very disappointing. They allowed me to travel with the team. So I rehabbed back, or I tried to rehab back, because he was very honest. And he's like, listen, at your age, which it's crazy in sports, it's like I was a dinosaur at the time. I was 32. Right? But
totally different world.
But he's like, listen, at your age, this is not a good surgery. Not a lot of guys, if any, come back from this one. It's not like Tommy John elbow surgery where there's like a 90% success rate. This was like, your career's probably over if you get this surgery. So we got to figure out every way we can to rehab it back. They allowed me to fly to LA and be with the team for the first month of the season, because my thoughts were like, if I'm going to pitch for these guys, even if it's just 2 months at the end, I don't want to show up and be like the new guy. I want to know the clubhouse culture. I want to know the routine of people. I want to be around the guys. So rehab back. I was about to throw off the mound to hitters for the first time, and I get out to 90 feet. I throw a ball, tear my lat.
Oh no.
Yeah, which now I realize it was because I was overcompensating for my shoulder, so I was using other muscles that I hadn't done. Okay, that puts that now extends the rehab. I start throwing again. Now my original timeline was back early July by the All-Star break. Now we're like, let's just try to get back, even if it's just for the playoffs at this point. Start rehabbing back. I throw to hitters for the first time. Feels great. I'm like, I'm back. I'm going to make it. This was July 15th. So this was a point where I was already supposed to be back. Now I'm facing hitters for the first time.
Is this 2019 by
No,
then?
this is 2018.
Okay, still 2018.
This is 2018.
Okay.
This is all pre-surgery.
Okay.
And then 2 days later, I go to face hitters again. And I'm out there. I'm like, I feel like I'm going to puke. Just so much pain. So it got to the point where I got injured. It's like the last week of February. And by July 24th or 28th, somewhere in that range, I was like, I need surgery.
Yeah, you can like accept
Which
it.
unfortunately really stunk, because with shoulder surgery, even the most basic, you're out a year. So now I'm like, I already know I'm out the following year. So the earliest that I can be back to being full go is 2020. And it was hard because there was a lot, 2017 was tough. I lost a teammate at the end of 2016. 2017 tried to fill the shoes in the pitching rotation that those shoes weren't really fillable. Probably put more pressure on myself. So 2018, having a chance to go to LA. My wife's from Southern California. She grew up a Dodger fan. It was like, this is a good chance to restart the baseball career. We didn't restart. So the Dodgers end up going on to lose in the World Series that year. And the part that made that worse was it was because of the role I was signed to do.
Oh, that new role that you were excited about?
And they never, in the World Series, they were never able to lock that specific role down. There were guys that filled it great during the regular season. Another guy got signed late in the season as a minor league free agent, and he ended up reviving his career and pitched won 2 or 3 more World Series, taking my spot.
Oh, you're watching him do it.
Yeah, but he was a good guy.
Yeah.
We good family. We hung out with them a bunch. Like Ashley was close. My wife, you know her. They don't.
Yeah.
was close to his wife at the time. So like you root for the guy, but it also is like that was supposed to be me.
Ooh.
So I think he just retired last year.
Oh my goodness.
So that's what I meant. Like don't know how much longer I really would have had, but that's 8 more years of playing.
It's a great strategy from that club. I mean, that's
Yeah, they've had a ton of success. They're still doing it.
Yeah, that's so great. So what was it like for you navigating the uncertainty of that, what, year and a half, 2 years?
To like the rehab process
Yeah, and like mentally, what was
after
it like?
After at the time of the surgery, it was like, well, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I tried to rehab to avoid the surgery, and I didn't think I had that in me anymore to like rehab back and then face disappointment if it didn't work. So I didn't sign a contract again until spring training started the following year. I was, you know, I was like, I would have been very disappointed in myself if I could get back and I didn't.
Yeah.
So it was always kind of like, I'm going to give it one shot, see if I can do it. And if I can't, I'm content. My career, I got water out of a rock. I was a late round draft pick from a small school in New York that parlayed that into a successful major league career. Like looking back at it now, it's like phenomenal. At the moment, when you're in it, you don't think that way. So I decided, and this is what made things tough, is I signed with Pittsburgh, whose spring training is in Bradenton. It's the opposite side of the state from where I live. So I wasn't with my family most of the time. It was the first time that I hadn't been with them during baseball because the kids were getting older. They needed to start being home and getting ready. My oldest daughter was starting kindergarten the next year. So there were things that she had to do leading up to it. So there was definitely a lot of uncertainty, like the lonely nights of like, why am I here doing this right now?
Yeah.
But then I started feeling better. And when I started feeling better, it was, I can do it again. I can get back to being who I was, and I owe it to them. Like I owe it to my kids to be able to show them, like, listen, things aren't easy. Like you don't remember the easy times of your life when you were traveling in hotels and cool cities because you guys were young. But now that you can, I want to show you guys that, like, I'm going to work hard to, try to get back. Again, though, it was a grind the whole time because it was other nagging injuries would pop up during the process. I remember I pulled my oblique right before I was supposed to go on my minor league rehab assignment. It's like, here we go again. Now I got to shut down again. It's like that old saying, I felt like a dog chasing my tail.
Yeah.
Because I just, no matter what I did, it was, feel good, hurt again. Feel good, hurt again. So I was able to get into games at the end of the season in 2020 or 2019, but I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready, but I made things difficult on the Pirates training staff that was running my rehab to the point I'm like, you got to get me out of here. I can't be here anymore. Mm-hmm. I was 33, father of 2, spending 8 hours a day rehabbing with 18 and 19-year-olds.
Oh my goodness.
So it got to a point where I'm like, I don't care if you send me to AA right now and my shoulder explodes.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yep.
And they did. And it flared up again. I had a couple of good outings, but I couldn't bounce back. It'd be like one good outing, 2 really bad ones, one good one again, but the velo stuff wasn't as crisp, like nothing. So we all agreed, like, we're going to shut it down. My daughter had just started kindergarten, which was also why I'm like, I can't be here rehabbing with these kids anymore when my kid's starting school and I'm missing her first day of school.
Absolutely. It's like you need to know
So I was like,
this is going to work.
it's either going to work or it's not.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think I threw a game in like the end of August or early September, and I was like, guys, I'm not bouncing back. Let me just go home.
Yep.
Let's shut it down. Whether I throw 2 or 3 more innings this season's not going to change whether I'm ready next year. And at first they didn't agree. They were like, no, if you're not feeling great, we want to send you back to Bradenton. I'm like, I'm not going.
Wow. Yeah.
I can't. And I always prided myself in being a good teammate who was coachable and worked hard. And because at the end of the day, for me, my stats are whatever, but I want guys I played with to be like, he was a prepared, worked hard, really good teammate. That's the stuff that will go with you forever. Like nobody remembers how I pitched.
Yeah.
But in this moment, I was like, I have to go home.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the next year, go to spring training 2020. I'm feeling great. I'm like, we did it.
Yeah.
I'm back. I threw off the mound. The coaching staff and everything. So that year, I was on a minor league contract, but everybody was aware, like, I either make this team or I'm going home. Yeah. I wasn't going to ride the buses in AAA. So I thought when I started to feel good, I was like, you know what? If they don't think I'm ready, maybe I can do that for a month or so and prove to myself that I'm ready. Like I wanted to get healthy again one last time. And I threw off the mound and I threw great. And we had a meeting. I talked to the manager who luckily for me was on the coaching staff when I was with Toronto. So we had some, familiarity. Back to the same thing that happened 2 years prior. Facing hitters. I'm supposed to throw 2 innings. I feel it flare up again.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I turn around to the pitching coach that was on my field because it was a sim game. And I said, how many pitches am I supposed to throw today? He's like, 35. I'm like, I can give you 15. So I gave him, I got the guys out because I was facing younger guys so I could just like flip some slop up there and make it work. And then I told him, I was like, it's hurting again. So we tried, we rehabbed a little bit longer. And I got to a point where I'm like, I have to throw in a game. If I can't throw in a game, I can't.
Yeah.
So I told the trainers and I told the manager, I said, I'm either going to be okay or it's going for good. That's it.
Yeah, you knew.
I said, I can't do this anymore.
Yes.
I said,
wow.
So I'm either good to go for the season or I'm not throwing anymore. Mm-hmm. And I threw one curveball and untucked my jersey. And I'm like, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
And I walked into the manager's office and I called the GM in. I said, I have to retire. And they tried to get me to come home, work with Eric again, and be like, just, if you need to go home to rehab, like, let's see this thing through. And I was like, guys, I've been rehabbing now for over 2 years in some facets. I said, I can't do it. Went home, picked my daughter up from kindergarten. The world shut down for COVID.
Oh, goodness. March of 2020.
March of 2020.
Wow.
I went from major league spring training to kindergarten homeschool teacher overnight.
First of all, I think it's so beneficial for the audience to hear, I mean, for lack of a better word, like how much courage success takes, like to have no guarantee, but continue to work towards what you'd committed to.
Well, the funny thing is people see success as like an easy path.
Yeah.
They assume that whether it's an athlete or a CEO or a musician or an entertainer, but everybody's success story is littered with moments of adversity, points where they're like, I can't do this anymore, and something pulls them out of that to keep going. Very rarely is it like, yeah, this girl was singing on the corner and someone walked by and was like, that's it. Here's a contract. That's a hit record. Like that. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of people that will face that adversity and not be willing to push through because it takes a special mindset to kind of grind and see the light at the end of the tunnel, but also be okay with the failure if you put everything into it.
I heard that in your story too, that you mentally had a plan B. Like
Yeah.
you had gone through both scenarios.
Well, the plan, yes, the plan B was going home and being a dad.
Right, which is amazing. So you didn't have a bad outcome.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I'd be walking into a global pandemic at the time.
Which is unbelievable. Yeah.
Which actually made the first few months of retirement easier.
Interesting. Okay.
Because everybody was doing it.
Right.
My teammates were home.
Oh.
Everybody was home. There was no sports on TV, so I wasn't missing anything.
Wow.
Now, if I waited 5 more days to announce my retirement, I would have got paid. That part stunk. I didn't know that the world was going to shut down when I did it. But that's not why you do everything, right? Would have been nice. So like when everybody was in it, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't really until the following spring training where it kind of set in that, oh, I don't play anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do?
Who taught you the mindset? Who taught you that? Where did you learn that?
My parents worked so hard to give me and my sister everything we could ask for. My father is a retired NYPD sergeant who was a first responder on 9/11. My mother worked multiple jobs. She ended up running a school security for an elementary school for, I think, the better part of 15 or 20 years. But it was their hard work and their attitude towards hard work where it was like, my dad used to always say to me, what's the other guy doing? Even in as soon as I can remember.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to go hit? What's the other guy doing? And then I'd be like,
because at a certain age, that becomes way
in the
more
beginning,
applicable.
I'm like, Dad, I don't know the other guy. I don't really care. Yeah. But at the end of it, it was like, especially baseball never really was the goal until later on in life. But then it started. It was with everything. Like, oh, you don't want to do that? Well, somebody's willing to do the work that you're not willing to do. And if that's going to separate you from getting to where you want to go versus them, then there's really no excuse.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be other people that are more talented in things, but talent, especially like in the baseball world, like once you sign that pro contract at a high school or college, everybody's talented.
Yeah.
It's what are you willing to do that the other guy's not to push past everybody else. So that was taught to me. I mean, like, you know, my mom would take us, me and my sister, to whatever tournaments, games, practices. Like if we signed up for something, we were there. It was a much different environment than it is now of like, if you sign up for something, you go. It wasn't like, hey, I know I'm supposed to play this weekend, but we're going jet skiing or something. Like, no. Like, and it just, growing up with that structure in mind, like that was it. Like I worked very hard, especially when I became an adult. Like when I got to college and stuff, it really set in of like, if I have to really lock in here, there's going to be the rest of my life, I'll have opportunity to do the stuff I want to do. It's a very short window of success. So kind of it came from them. It 100%, like just the way my parents raised me. Like if I was raised differently, my talent alone would not have gotten me to where I did. Yeah. But the way my mom and dad, which I don't know if I say thank you enough. So thank you, Camera, to parents for raising me the way they did. Without that, like I wouldn't have had that blue collar, pack your lunch, go to work mentality. Even though it was a sport, here's my job.
Yeah, and you had mentioned to me once in a random conversation we had that your dad had also said to you, like, you're a lot more than your sport. And
yeah,
I think that's so important. That was professionals to hear too.
That was later on.
Okay.
Not that he ever treated me like just a baseball player.
Was this in 2020 when you fell into a dark retirement hole?
It might have been.
Is that where we're going next?
It might have been.
Okay.
But no, there was always moments like that. Cause I told you off camera earlier, like I had teammates, cause I had a hard time. I would take it home with me. If I pitched bad, I would bring it home.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at my wife and my daughter or my daughters and they don't care. They don't, my kids when I played were very, very young. They're just in the kids' room playing with stuffed animals the whole time. They don't know whether I pitched bad or good. So why should I bring that home to them? And I had a teammate that said, we're no different than people that work on Broadway. When the show's over, you take your costume off and you go home. You leave it here. And I remember when that conversation happened, it was early 2014, and it probably took me until 2016 to actually recognize that.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you're right. Like, why should I make the people around me miserable because I gave up a home run in the third inning? Like, they don't care.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people struggle with that.
And it's all different industries, right? Like you don't get a report in on time, or tough day trading, whatever it is, you take it home and it's like, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't throw the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Take us to 2020, and that's your first year of retirement. It's the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you said there was a turning point where it really hit. Everybody else is going back and
it was
playing.
When things started opening up again and guys were starting to train for the next season, and I didn't have a season to train for. And my off-season routine was so regimented. It was up, kid at school, 3 hours at the gym, home, and then watch TV, do it again. Mm-hmm. So now there's all this time to fill. And I started going, I joined my wife in these workout classes, and those passed the time a little bit because it was new and it was like, oh, okay. But then this might sound worse than it is, but I'm looking around at the people doing the classes and I'm like, I don't belong here. This isn't for me. The weights were very light. They were like Fisher Price looking colors.
Were you Pure Bar?
I don't want to say where I was because
Okay.
the place is still around and,
Okay.
and they've actually changed and it looks like a really difficult workout. But it wasn't even that. It was just more like, that's not the environment I'm used to being around. I'm used to exercising with guys who are pushing for the next season. So there would be days where I'm sitting there, I'm like, what am I doing? Then I would play golf, but then I got obsessive with that. And to where I was playing really well, better than I haven't played this well since then. Mm-hmm. But I started taking it too seriously because this is my competitive outlet.
Yeah, I was wondering.
And then it's like, this isn't fun. Now, if I hit a bad shot, I'm so mad because I'm trying to get really good at this. But it's like, again, nobody cares how you play golf, right? They just want to hang out for 4 hours. So I didn't know what to do mentally with my time. I didn't have the outlet that challenged me, because the thing with pitching that is so great is, when you're on the mound, you just kind of go through what you're used to doing. But the work that goes into it beforehand with studying hitters, your physical conditioning, being prepared, watching things guys are doing the night before, that's the part I loved. That's the part I missed. Like preparing to go face another team. You can't simulate that in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Until I found something you could.
Absolutely. Well, I will say, just a side note, that's why you do see a lot of athletes who retire, specifically with athletes that will go to some sort of an addiction or a dependency, because it's the process. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's a process. So they look for a process to replicate that feeling.
Yeah. I've seen plenty of former teammates that have fallen into some sort of addiction, ruined their family lives when they're done playing. And it's finding something that can fill that gap is so important. And it's not the same for everybody. Like, I know we're going to touch on what mine was, so I don't know if I should just jump right in.
Yeah, we could go there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
And I remember after the first class, after I finally was able to crawl to the car from being completely exhausted, beat up, I got choked by a 140-pound Brazilian kid. And I was like, that was awesome. And so it was starting all over again from the bottom. Like, I knew nothing. No background in wrestling, no background in grappling. I did some karate when I was growing up, but you can't punch anybody in jiu-jitsu.
Where'd you come up with it? Like, where'd it come from?
Well, so...
Or did it find you?
Yes and no. So we were watching Cobra Kai on Netflix, and there was a huge scene where all the high school kids got in this like giant fight. And my wife turns to me and she's like, our kids need to learn how to defend themselves. So we got them into jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because you watch, I mean, don't go online looking to watch fights, but when you see them, they always end up on the ground. Mm-hmm. That's what jiu-jitsu is. It's like how to survive when on the ground. So I was taking the girls to class twice a week. They started in January of 2020. And I started like really getting into what they were doing. I was learning along with them. But at the time, I wasn't ready because I knew if I jumped into it, that was going to be my new baseball.
Absolutely.
So I didn't, while I was mentally out of it for a little bit, I also recognized like, I need to be retired a little. I got to enjoy this. You know, if I want to take the boat out, go do it. If I want to have some free time. But
Tom
then
2.0 ready. Yeah.
Right. But then it got to a point where I was like, okay, now I need it now. Mm-hmm. The guys that worked there, every day I took them. When are you starting? No, I'm good. I've had my competitive life. I'm good. I don't need it. I don't need another one. Like, and boy, oh boy, was I wrong. I needed it so much more than I thought. From the camaraderie of just hanging around the school and like being around the same people all the time. It's like a locker room again, like a clubhouse. And then, nothing's given to you. That's what I love the most about it. I have friends that they're like, I was a black belt in this. And I'm like, dude, you were 6 years old when you got that. Like they just gave it to you for showing up. I've been training for almost 5 years now. I'm not even close to a black belt or a brown belt or anything, because like you have to earn every single stripe, belt, and you learn it by studying. You learn new things every day. You may learn something and then you learn a better way to do it. It's just like pitching to me. Like I may want to get a hitter out by throwing a curveball, but I know I have to do it a certain way the second time I face them because they saw it the first. Well, I might be facing an opponent that I want to finish with a certain submission, but he knows that. So I got to set it up a different way. And it allowed my mind to work like I was back on the mound.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's such a good takeaway for people of, that purpose, even if you have a pivot, like purpose doesn't end, right? Like it'll just transform.
And, it's allowed me to continue to be the same person that I was, just in a different discipline. Yeah. And it forces me to stay healthy. I can't stay out late on a Tuesday night and show up at 7 a.m. on a Wednesday morning.
Yeah, there's that too.
So there's a responsibility to the school that I feel of, again, though, it's like I signed up for this, I'm coming.
Right. And
it's been great. I have not had moments of, I don't want to do this anymore. Because I know even in those seconds where I'm thinking I don't want to go to class, I know when I get out of there, it's going to be beneficial. It's my therapy.
Well, for sure. And then you have a community there too. And I think that's so important for anybody.
It is. And that's why golf was so tough. It's because even if you play with the same group a lot, you're still playing with different people. So the community changes. The thing with jiu-jitsu is You go to 12 o'clock class, it's mostly the same people.
Yeah, because they're working towards the same things.
And you have a group of people that, now not everybody, it's just like a regular gym where some people sign up and they just go sit on a bike for 5 minutes and they're like, well, I'm a member at a gym, I'm in shape now. There's jiu-jitsu has that too. But you find your pockets of people that are striving to work and really learn the art behind it. And so you find common ground within the community. It's a community within the community.
I love it. And
Yeah.
it's such a good just example.
Yeah, and then I've done some competitions which I may be done with because
Do you get your butt kicked?
no, it's not no, not even that. It's just that took me away from my family.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not going to sign up for something and do it halfway. So if I'm competing in 8 weeks, I work backwards and now this is what I need to do to be ready for that competition. So it becomes about me again instead of the family.
Well, and I want to build off of that because there's another thing that you do with your time.
Yeah.
And that's a youth softball coach.
Yep.
So, let's talk about that because just so the audience knows, Tom actually coaches my daughter in the rec league.
Surprise.
Yep. And so I've seen you in action and the energy that you bring is definitely unique. And it's valuable. So talk about that. We know how that came about, your daughter's play.
When I retired, my oldest was already playing t-ball, so I offered to help now that I was around. And then it just seemed like a natural fit. I didn't know the first year I signed up to be a head coach, I did not know how it would go. Because one, I'm dealing with little girls, right? So some of them are just heads in the clouds. Some of them, emotions are all over the place. And if I'm going to give my time to it, I'm going to hold them regardless of their age to a certain standard. Now, that doesn't mean like we're not going to joke and have fun, but when we're working, I expect things to go a certain way. My wife played Division I softball. My sister played Division I softball. There's a lot of softball in my family. I've seen it. I played baseball. My dad coached me my whole life, and it seemed like he would work like nights, take a break, come to the game, get back. Like his lunch break would be our game. Like he'd show up in the police in his undercover uni, like switch real quick, throw the coach's shirt on, and go. So yeah, I just started coaching. I was like, man, I really like this. Like you start seeing kids improve. Like you see the kid who showed up maybe as a newcomer that didn't even know how to put the glove on, and then by the end of the year, they're fielding a ground ball. Like that's it. It seems so elementary, but it is. But it's so exciting because you're like, that kid just got better. And then I started to realize like it's not about making every kid on this field be a superstar. That's not possible. But if I can make every kid on this field be the best that they can be at the end of the season, that's going to be a success for everybody. So it might be the one girl who puts one ball in play. Like she's going to go home remembering that. And then there's going to be others that you have to push a little bit because you can see the talent that's in there as well. But having the free time, then coaching led to becoming the co-director for the rec league. And that was just more of, I saw people needed help. I had the time and I felt like my involvement, we can kind of help steer things a certain direction. My credibility allowed an opportunity for things to not get questioned as often. So, and the league's grown. We're at 250 girls when 3 years ago there was barely 100.
Well, yeah, and you have a variety of former professional athletes and
Yeah,
coaching. It's unbelievable because you kind of attracted, I don't know if you came
nuts.
first.
I did.
Yeah.
But, the guys that are coaching, they were all former teammates.
Yeah.
So we like minor league all the way up. I've known them for almost 20
So you
years.
built another community there.
Yeah, that's something that I'm very blessed to have guys that I played with at all varieties of levels live in this community, because I get to see them all the time. Like, we see each other, we jump right back into what we could tell a story about something that was 12 years ago that seemed like yesterday. Where a lot of guys, when they retire, they might be spread out around the country and they might not get to see teammates as often. But those guys got involved. Like, we all have daughters. I don't know if that's some sort of cruel joke,
Yeah.
or what it is.
There are no boys in that.
No,
Yeah.
there's not. But it's been great because the kids in our league are getting high level coaching at all age groups.
Yeah. And I will say, I watch it. It builds their confidence too.
Well, that's what it's about.
Oh,
like, they're
yeah.
not, when I grew up playing, if a kid wanted to play a sport, they played the sport. Now, I've had conversations with parents where they're like, I wanted to sign my daughter up for softball, but she's never played before. And I'm like, well, how old is she? 10. Sign her up. Well, none of those kids are going to college tomorrow. She might show up and learn really fast. I have a girl on my 10-year-old team who's in her second season, and she is arguably one of the best ones on the field because she listens, she's coachable. You don't know what the kids are going to do. Like, don't handcuff them because other kids started playing travel at 8 and your kids never played. If they want to play, let them play. Not to mention all the other benefits of friends, community, learning to, how to work together for a common goal, all that stuff that comes with it. Like, we're not playing youth sports just to try to hit homers and win games. If you are, you're in it for the wrong reason, which some people are in it for that reason. But it's not the majority.
Yeah. And you're imparting your wisdom.
Yeah.
Your wisdom. So we're going to end with a quick fire.
Okay.
So you do not know the questions prior.
Do not.
Just whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Youth sports, parents or coaches as the problem?
Oh boy. That's a whole nother podcast.
I wanted to hit you with that one right away.
I think it's not a mutually exclusive thing. I think it can be both. I think a lot of times parents tend to see further ahead than they should be and looking further ahead instead of being in the moment and being like, hey, my kid's having a lot of fun. And I also think some coaches think it's more important to win, and sometimes will hold kids back to win instead of pushing them to their furthest potential, even though it might mean they lose the game.
What a great point.
That's where the player-parent-coach dynamic sometimes can explode. But a lot of times it's the parents.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tough. Wish there was a roadmap for it.
Well, there's not. Yeah. So I do firmly believe a lot of time the parents are doing what they believe is best for their kid. And in some instances it is. But if there was a roadmap to success, everybody would follow it. It is so independent of the child.
Right.
Like, you have to be able to know your kid, know a little bit about what you're getting them into, because the term late bloomer used to refer to somebody who got good at a sport at the end of high school. Late bloomers are now referred to 12-year-olds. They haven't even bloomed. That's the whole point of the term, is kids who have gone through puberty maybe a little bit later, and now, like me, I was 5'8" at the end of 8th grade. I was 6'2" at the end of my freshman year.
Yeah.
Do you think I got better at baseball? Yeah. Not because I got better, it's because now my 75-mile-an-hour fastball was 90. Because I'm 8 inches tall, or 4, however math. I'm taller.
Well, and then it's also not even just like a roadmap to success, but like how to parent them in a healthy way through that, because it's
Now,
about
when
it's
I say
about
success,
all the
though,
skills you just mentioned.
I don't mean success in the sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Right.
Most of the kids won't have success in the sport long term. It ends for everybody, whether it's middle school, high school, college, professionally. You will always be a non-athlete longer than you're an athlete. So if you're being taught things that you're only going to use and benefit from on the field, that's a failure by the person who's leading the team. It's that NCAA commercial. 99% of the athletes go professional in something other than sports. So if you're only teaching them how to win a game because you know the third baseman can't catch a ball at this age level, but you're not teaching them how to develop the proper way, or you're not teaching them how to deal with failure by putting them in tough positions, that's the success I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the actual in-sport athletic success.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Thank you for differentiating that. Okay, ribeye or filet?
Where am I?
Oh, goodness.
No. So am I out or home?
You're home.
Home ribeye. Out filet.
Oh, I love that.
Because the fillets at restaurants, they're always consistent. I can cook a better ribeye at home. That's my thought.
Okay, all right. One word to describe your career transition.
Evolving.
Biggest misconception about success.
I think that can go back to what I just kind of said earlier. People tend to deem success as, monetary success or reaching the highest level in a sport. But my thought on success is taking your ability in whatever it is you do and maximizing it. So when I represent players, I tell them straight up, I said, you may not make it to the major leagues, but if I can prepare you to get to the highest level, you can. And you can wake up when you're done playing knowing you did everything you could to reach your highest level. And then we can set you up for a good life after baseball. That's success. Not everybody's going to be a major leaguer. Not everybody's going to play in college. Not everybody can be a CEO. But be the best. If you're capable of doing a certain job and you elect not to push yourself to get there, then you're the reason you're not having success.
And then finally,
oh boy,
Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader?
Oh man, Darth Vader.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, think about his arc, right? Like, yeah, he was the GOAT. He was the guy. Then bad coach got in his ear.
Oh, okay.
Not his fault. He wanted to just be a successful Jedi. And then they were like, hey man, I can help you better, right? I can make you better. I'm not going to teach you the good way to do stuff. I'm going to teach you how to have early, quick success. The dark side.
I mean, I think we have to end on that, Tom. I love it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Prevention Pioneers. Don't forget to like and share with friends and colleagues.